Great. I'm making the connections to a live stream.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for attending this month's live stream here for NeuralSeek. We'll give everyone a minute or two to potentially dial in. So very excited this month. Um, when I step back and I think about the craze of AI, right? It's so exciting, but it's hard sometimes to see the real impact it will have on our world. And that's what I'm really excited about this month is we have a customer of ours that we've grown to know and love and work with. And they accepted our invitation to come talk about what they did with AI built with NeuralSeek. And I think it's really interesting because it's a restaurant that people go to and people interact with. And this is all about affecting customers and their daily life. So without further ado, hi, Remy. Thank you for coming today. Can you introduce yourself? We're all very
Yes,
excited to have you on.
thank you so much for having me. Hi, my name is Remy Carolyn. I work at Gillespie's in Pompano Beach, Florida. Gillespie's is a fun restaurant atmosphere with live music 7 nights a week, Sunday brunch, dinner shows, and many choices of indoor and outdoor private to semi-private spaces to offer events and weddings with a beautiful view.
Nice. What was your experience working with NeuralSeek?
So, working with your team, I really appreciated your professionalism and kindness. If my team had any questions, NeuralSeek was always there and always available to provide answers and schedule meetings to make sure that we were satisfied with the product.
Awesome. Was there, stepping back, we really enjoyed working with you and the engagement, but was there anything specifically that made that experience so great?
Yeah, so one aspect was the efficiency compared to other companies. Many other companies required scheduling specific webs for conversation, which can be time consuming. NeuralSeek's integration of AI allowed us to quickly start the process and ensure our company's standards. Additionally, the chatbot can search the website to gather information for guests, making it ideal for companies without the time or manpower to spend weeks setting up web interactions. This is also beneficial for businesses that are not like technologically inclined.
Mm, interesting. Yeah, that's probably my favorite thing to highlight with the chatbot engagements that we do. We use your website to make sure that that's the knowledge base so that all that work that you and the Galuppi's team put in to making sure the website's so beautiful and pretty and has all the information, it doesn't go to waste when you introduce AI. Is there anything you could share with potential customers that are considering coming to NeuralSeek to help them, or just anything you would want to throw out to the ecosystem?
Yeah, so you guys made the process very simple and smooth. We could still reach out to you guys if we encounter any issues with the chats. For any restaurants or businesses considering AI but feeling intimidated, I would definitely advise embracing the technology. As AI becomes increasingly essential to daily tasks, it's worth taking a look and learning how it can benefit a company.
Fantastic. Well, thank you. I know I'll be going to Galuppi's sometime soon. I live down in the area, but I will definitely engage with the chatbot first to make sure that there's the right venue and there's the right music schedule that I want to listen to.
Yeah, it's been great. We've heard nothing but great news about it, and you guys have been so helpful. So we are very happy.
Fantastic. Thank you, Remy. Appreciate your time.
No
Um,
problem.
in terms of what else is going on here in the NeuralSeek world, this is a rundown of our March 2025. We have some market momentum building and strategic exposures to highlight. So this past month has been increasingly pivotal for us at NeuralSeek as we continue to gain traction and build strategic relationships and showcase the power of our platform across key industry stages. So first, in terms of our visibility and credibility, we were invited to present at the AWS headquarters in Virginia. That's where we demonstrated NeuralSeek's enterprise-grade AI capabilities to AWS leadership and technical stakeholders. Since then, Chris, our director of partnerships, went to Texas to do the same, and these opportunities further strengthens our alignment and commitment to meet customers at the ecosystems that they exist in. Next is we co-presented with IBM at NVIDIA's GTC conference, which was incredible. It was one of the most influential gatherings for applied AI of the year. And our session with IBM focused on production-ready AI agents, highlighting real-world enterprise deployments and the growing need for agentic orchestration frameworks, especially where compliance and governance are key. Next is our Miami ecosystem expansion. So 3 out of 5 of our major team members are live here in Miami. So we've been tapping into the local ecosystem, and our 2 founders, Garrett and Mark, presented at the Miami AI Hub. That's where we were connected with a fast growing network of builders, founders, and VCs. Miami is an emerging as a powerful node in the AI world, and we're excited about becoming a critical part of that core infrastructure. In terms of strategic partnership development, we're actively nurturing partnerships with several other AI SaaS technology firms, integrating their technology with ours. We have some fun things to announce next month as these partnerships come to fruition. Overall, we remain incredibly focused on scaling responsibly while capturing the high leverage moments of the 2025 AI boom. With that, I'll hand it over to the team.
Guys, is that my cue?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So I'll go over some of the new stuff in NeuralSeek this month, right? And a couple of the upcoming features. So a couple new things. I'm gonna share my screen. Can you get ahead of myself here? So not a ton of big stuff this month, but a couple of interesting things. We had a couple use cases that wanted to see an improved hat filter, profanity filtering engine. So we improved that a little bit under the covers and also allow you to specify like an allow list and also add to the block list. In case you have words like, maybe escort that would normally be blocked, we can like allow that through our filter or add more. Another thing while we're on the configure tab is we now have like a backup and restore. So I mentioned this on our last webinar as an upcoming feature, but it's now in mainstream and released. We give you the option to not just download your configuration settings, but you get the option to back up and restore the whole instance. So this is useful if you're migrating from cloud providers, migrating plans, or just want to turn the instance off for a little while, maybe revisit it in a month. You're able to back up and restore everything. So this is, curate, this is configuration, it's logs, it's previous runs, everything useful in an instance, not just the configuration. So if we jump over to Maestro, a couple new things. We had a dental benefit summary, right? We have a couple new ways to like process data, and one of those is being able to convert PDFs over to HTML, structured HTML, and then download that as needed. We have a couple new connectors, so we can now built in connect to Box and secure FTP servers. And then finally, really to wrap up here, we also have the agent scheduler. So something that's really cool with Maestro now is we're able to run any flow at any time up to every minute or as far out as as far out as a year in the future. It's cron compatible. So basically, you can give it a description, but in this case, it's once an hour, every hour. We give you a UI to handle all of this in a graphical manner and figure out when we want to do it. But it's cron compatible. So if you have an existing schedule that you want to pop in and run, we can do that too. One thing that's not quite fully released yet is our gather node. So this one's interesting enough to kind of demo, right? We're working on being able to pause a flow, right? This has been a common ask for months, really, and needs to be built around today, but we're working on the ability to stop a flow in processing and ask for more details. So, like, I would trigger this one with, like, I want to write a social media post about our new gather feature. I didn't mention what platform or when the post is, so we'll stop processing and bubble up a clarifying question before the flow will continue. We'll give you some examples on how to implement that when we fully roll out the feature, but this is definitely an interesting upcoming feature, along with some enhancements to our chat platform, whether you use Watson X AI or AWS Lex or any other virtual agent. We're soon going to be rolling out a way to offer like choices, not just a question. So we'll be able to bubble up buttons, right? I think that's it from my end. If there's any questions, we can pause and review. Need to make sure I have Zoom up.
RJ, I have a quick question about the backup and restore. Am I able to schedule regular backups, or is that something I initiate manually each time?
Interesting. That's something that you would initially initiate manually, but that would be a good item for the roadmap.
Following along with scheduling, another question I had was with the agent scheduler, if a Maestro flow fails to run for the scheduled time, will I be able to see that and track it in the governance tab?
Well, you wouldn't. So Maestro flows are designed to run no matter what and continue if there's an error. So realistically, kind of sidestepping the question, you wouldn't get a notification that it fails. You would build a notification mechanism. So, like, for every company, this is different. You might use Slack for notifications, you might use emails, you might even use another platform, right? So, we can send emails. If I clear this out, we can connect to an email sending service. We can connect to like Slack, um, Jira, and like let us know. I have a search in there. That's why it's not showing up. But like we can post a message, or you can, hit a REST API for the service of your choosing to like notify that, hey, there was a problem with this run, and even send logs with it. It's completely customizable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My other question was about the document conversion to HTML. Have you had experience with use cases where a PDF has a lot of images and I want to convert to HTML? How would that process, or how would the image processing be handled?
That's a good question, and I don't know.
No worries, just double checking.
All right, I think we could probably wrap up Q&A and hand it over to Jordan for documentation updates, I think. Is that right?
Absolutely. I will grab a screen share here. All right. Right. So documentation, I am Jordan. I'm one of the technical authors on the team. So I'd love to present the documentation. I know I've showcased this before. And if you're not new to NeuralSeek, then you'll know it's at documentation.neuralseek.com. So if you are curious about some of the new features that RJ just spoke about and went over, we can review all of those in our changelog and here in our documentation. So we have it broken down with a good getting started page. But maybe I want to see what new releases are coming or have come out within this past month. So we update this changelog monthly, and right here we can see March 2025 is a bit of a breakdown of all of these new features that RJ demonstrated for us. If you're looking for a more technical overview of some of these new features, or you're getting started with NeuralSeek and you're wanting to explore the UI and understand it from a technical standpoint, we can navigate to the Explore the Interface tab, and we have each section broken down to match the headers of your NeuralSeek UI. I like to showcase Maestro a lot because as I navigate into this tab, I get a good overview. I can see the table of contents here, a good overview of the overall Maestro platform, but where we get a lot of specific questions are about what does this function do? So I'm using this new email node. What kind of parameters should I put in it? So then you'll expand up our MTL functions and be able to see each of the available options here. I'll click into one, and it'll provide a description as well as a description with the associated parameters, giving you a little bit more of a technical oversight of what you can do to modify and edit that Maestro function. Along with each of these features, or along with each of these tabs on the Explore the Interface section, at the very bottom, I'll scroll down here, we offer a features and a guides list. So I can point out our guides and walkthroughs section as well, just for your easy access. But if I'm navigating configure and I want to see some relevant articles about replay, or using proposals, a step-by-step guide. Each of these features and guide lists are corresponding to their tab on the left sidebar here, and the related Maestro feature. So I can click into one of these and be navigated to a new page where I get a better overview, if not a step-by-step guide, of how to implement that feature and how I can use it for my business. Just like I said before, the guides and walkthroughs are also available on the sidebar, which is for easier access. It's front and center right there for you, broken up by data, integration, models, really what your use case is. And so we're always putting out new guides here. Specifically, if you're also looking for some example templates that you see in the Maestro tab, come over and check out some of the guides and walk through a step-by-step of how this functionality can be implemented. Again, more about NeuralSeek allows you to navigate to our homepage, our community, our upcoming events, check out some of our partnerships, our data security and privacy, and any of our available NeuralSeek plans as well, which leads me into the NeuralSeek site. So I'm clicking here into the community page. I can access this through community.neuralseek.com, neuralseek.com, clicking the community page, and or right here from the documentation. I'm looking through the documentation and maybe I have a specific question. I want to contact the NeuralSeek community about it. So it'll navigate me here to this page where I've already signed into my account. So you can log in and we can click on community. You can check out our media center, any sort of events that we're hosting or supporting, like this monthly webinar, as well as a support ticket feature. But just for some Q&A, we can click on community and we have a section available for questions and answers, where if I'm signed into my account, I can publish a question to the NeuralSeek team. I can search for FAQs by specific tags, looking for new announcements, any sort of feature requests. I believe this was mentioned in the last webinar as well, but we had a specific request for the box connector in Maestro and the SFTP connector. And our developers were on it pretty immediately and got that out and published onto NeuralSeek for use for that specific request. So if there's any sort of feedback or questions about these new features, new functionality, something you're not seeing in the documentation that needs a bit more clarity, that's what our community page here is for. Are there any questions about the community page? It's a really great feature, and I definitely recommend making that account and letting us know any sort of questions that you have. And then, as always, we're consistently updating our documentation page here as new features are being released. So just make sure you check that out, check out any sort of guides that were coming through that might pertain to your particular use case.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, whole team. It looks like we are all at the topics that we've been over today. Before I close that out for the day, I just want to give everybody a round of applause for Remy for showing up from Clubbies today. Ain't nothing like a public reference, but showing up for a different team. So everyone just shoot her rounds of applause, claps, and hugs. Thank you, Remy. Big shout out to Lawrence and for Chris K as they've been traveling across the country and doing different presentations there. We appreciate all that they're doing. Of course, we're always grateful for the things that RJ presents on the technical side, for Jordan, what she prepares with being our technical author and documentation. And encourage everyone to make sure that they get their community page login so that they can start answering some of those technical questions as well. If we have nothing else to go over, I say everyone have a delightful afternoon, and we will see you next month.